Welcome to the Hustler's Corner podcast. I am your host, Emeka Menakaya. I'm an actor, entrepreneur, and a student of self-development. On each episode, my purpose is to bring you an inspiring message that supports your journey for growth in life. My intent is to leave you feeling empowered and motivated to push through any obstacles in pursuit of your goals and dreams. I'm grateful for your time with me today, so let's get started. Welcome to episode 5 of the Hustler's Corner podcast. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend and your week is off to a phenomenal start. Also, I want to say thank you so much to those of you that have subscribed to the podcast and continue to share the weekly episodes with your friends and family. I truly appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed already, you can do so on iTunes, Google Play, or Spotify. That way you get a notification every time a new episode is released. Our focus for today is going to be one of healing and release. I hope that by the end of this episode, you will be able to draw value and meaning so that you can apply the tips that I will provide into your own life as you continue to grow and evolve into your higher self. Today's focus is going to be about forgiveness. I'll talk about the importance of forgiveness, why it's necessary to not only forgive others but ourselves as well, and the steps that we can take to forgive so that we can draw healing and inner peace through the process of forgiveness. So for greater context, as usual, let's look at the definition of forgiveness. Here's how I define forgiveness. A willingness to let go of the hurt or pain inflicted upon us, either by ourselves or by others, in order to make room for peace and love in our hearts and minds. Now, forgiveness could mean different things to different people. In general, yes, it involves a decision to let go of resentment and not take revenge for past hurt inflicted upon us, whether it be emotional, verbal, or even physical. And of course, the fact that we forgive does not mean that we forget. But the process of forgiveness can help lessen the pain and also reduce the grip it has on you, as well as the control of the person who harmed or offended you. For some people, they are able to draw feelings of understanding, empathy, and compassion for the person who hurt them, and that takes tremendous strength. Sometimes it takes time. Forgiveness is not always an easy process or an overnight process. I've had moments when I held onto resentment, and it took a bit of time for me to forgive, especially people who were close to me and I thought I could trust. And in some situations, I've been able to forgive quickly, especially if it's sincere. I'm grateful that I'm at a point in my life where I'm able to forgive a lot quicker than I used to. And of course, this does not mean that I don't feel the pain or go through it. But I've also come to realize that holding on to grudges and resentments would keep me in captivity of that suffering and the person who hurt me. So for my peace of mind and healing, I choose to forgive and move on. Now, there are 2 layers to forgiveness. Number 1, self-forgiveness, which is the most crucial and important part. And number 2, the forgiveness of others. Let's talk about the first layer, self-forgiveness. I'm sure there have been times in our lives where we put ourselves down and we're just really hard on ourselves for mistakes that we made. We place blame on ourselves and feel anger for not doing the things we said we would do, not fulfilling promises, not caring enough, not showing up when we said we would, and also the pain and harm that we may have caused others. We hold on to this pain and guilt, depriving ourselves of self-love. In order for us to be able to truly forgive others, we must first learn to forgive ourselves. Be more kind and patient with yourself, because it's in those moments of suffering that we have to be more self-loving and supportive of ourselves. If you find yourself struggling to forgive others, there are a couple things you can do. You can create a loving phrase. For example, I am a good person. I truly want the best for others. I forgive myself. Something like that. It has to feel true to you, of course. You can even write a forgiveness letter to yourself, handwritten. There's something about seeing your own words in your own handwriting. It just makes things more meaningful and sacred. And of course, you can sit in silence for a few minutes, take slow, deep breaths, and silently say to yourself, I forgive myself. I forgive myself. By doing this, you are self-healing and relieving yourself of the pain and suffering. Now let's talk about the second layer, the forgiveness of others. A lot of times it's easier to hold on to resentment and pain others have caused us. We believe there's strength in that anger, and we just hold on to it. But this doesn't benefit us in any way, shape, or form. Here are some effects of holding on to resentment. You become depressed and anxious. You get so consumed in the pain, and you can't even enjoy the present. You bring anger and bitterness into every new experience or relationship. You start to generate a lack of trust for anyone close to you. You can feel that life lacks meaning or purpose, thus becoming at odds with your own beliefs. You lose the ability to enrich the connection with others. So needless to say, there is no benefit holding on to resentment. And these effects are not good for the mind, body, or spirit. Now, let's contrast that with the benefits of forgiveness. Benefits like less anxiety, stress, and anger, healthier relationships, improved mental health, peace of mind, lower blood pressure, improved heart health, and improved self-esteem. Being able to forgive others releases us from the hold of the pain and suffering. Again, forgiveness does not mean forgetting the offense, but it means acknowledging the grievance and feelings created. Being able to come to an understanding that we are all flawed and imperfect, including ourselves, and finding the strength to let go and move on. Because we know that by doing so, we also take responsibility for our own joy, happiness, and peace of mind. Now you might ask, how do I reach a state of forgiveness? I'll share a few tips with you guys. Number 1, identify what needs healing and who needs to be forgiven and for what. Number 2, recognize the value of forgiveness and how it can improve your life. Number 3, choose to forgive the person who offended you. It's a choice. Number 4, acknowledge your emotions about the harm done to you and how they affect your behavior and work to release them. Number 5, move away from your role as the victim and release the control and power the offending person and situation have had in your life. And number 6, consider joining a support group or seeing a counselor. Now, these are some of the steps that we can take to reach a state of forgiveness and begin to receive true healing from the pain and suffering inflicted upon us by others or by ourselves. Now, I know it's not going to be easy. I know a lot of times we just want to hold on to this pain and onto this anger, but the truth of the matter is it doesn't serve us in any way, shape, or form. Instead, it keeps us at a very low energy vibration, and we need to be able to find the strength within us to forgive others, but first start by forgiving ourselves. So in closing, let's learn to be more forgiving, because when we are able to forgive and let go of that negative energy, we can let go of the distractions and channel our complete focus on ourselves, our purpose here on earth, and the things we want to accomplish. You have the strength to forgive yourself and also to forgive others. You are worthy of your own forgiveness. Don't allow your pride and anger to get in the way of your peace of mind, happiness, or health. I know it's not always easy, but it is possible to forgive. Remember that. Hey guys, that's our time for today. I want to thank you for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, please share this episode with at least 3 to 5 people or anyone you think needs to hear it. And if you'd like to get the show notes from today's episode, you can go to the website, www.thehustlerscorner.com, and click on the episodes tab at the top of the page. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and tune into next week's episode. It's going to be a good one. I hope you have a blessed week, and I wish you success in all your goals and dreams. Thank you, and one love.